Hi, my name is Nell Solomon, and I was part of the Evolutions program Generation 1. I can confidently say that Evolutions played a big role in where I am today. I'm currently finishing up my second year at Northeastern University in Boston, majoring in environmental studies with a marine concentration and a communications minor. My career goal is to help make important environmental research and marine conservation efforts more accessible through communication. I just accepted my first co-op with the Ocean Genome Legacy Center in Nahant. They're a nonprofit marine research facility and genome bank dedicated to exploring and preserving the threatened biological diversities of our oceans. Being a part of Evolutions is definitely one of the reasons that I feel confident in going into this job. Evolutions taught me more life skills than I thought was possible for a year of high school. I learned how to effectively work in groups, which included learning about each individual's strengths and then learning new skills from those individuals and pulling them all together to create this awesome project, all while having strong communication throughout it. I also learned more about myself as an individual and a learner, and definitely changed the way I view my education. Before the program, I didn't enjoy school at all, and I was simply getting good grades because that's what my parents wanted to see. But I really wasn't interested in what we were learning, and the topics we were talking about weren't exciting me. But I learned that no matter the topics you're studying, you can always find a subtopic or a way of presenting information to pique your interest. So I really found a love for film and sustainability, and I decided to always incorporate one or the other in anything we did. Once our teachers figured out that was kind of a safe space for me, they challenged me to switch it up or add another component. Challenge is something that I think is overlooked when talking about the Evolutions program. It's always been a topic of conversation why the program is equivalent to honors level courses and how that's possible when it looks like the kids are just goofing off or having too much fun. The reality was that was the first time that I was really enjoying what I was learning, and so that's why it looked like I was having so much fun. I was meeting like-minded people who were doing the same thing, and so some of my best friends did Evolutions as well, and we weren't that close before the program, but the program really fostered these great relationships and these bonds that we made with people that I know that I'll have for a lifetime. I just remember I was running for class office, and I was so nervous because I have this huge fear of public speaking. And the whole Evolutions program went to the auditorium and cheered me on, even though it wasn't their grade or half of them, but it was awesome to just feel that support. I don't think Evolutions, the style of learning, is for everyone, but I do think it's important that the program continues on at Wellesley High School for the number of students that will thrive in it. At Northeastern, they embrace this idea that students are constantly bringing in new information from co-op and NUIN, which is our first year study abroad program. When they told me this during a college tour, I couldn't help but think of the synthesis on diversity and inclusion that was a big part of Evolutions. When I was in the program, we referred to it as a family. I had people there to support me, push me out of my comfort zone. Like I said, running for class office, someone encouraged me to do that. And people there to explain that failure happens, but the most important part is knowing how to learn from your mistakes and what to do differently on the next go-round. Had I taken normal classes, I wouldn't have done all these amazing projects and learned all of this stuff. I mean, I traveled 3 days to this island to study, film, and write about the negative impacts on the coastal marine environment there. I studied and created post-consumer art, and I had a group that collected data on the student body, how much they were using their phones, and what the best way to communicate with them was. Had I not done any of that, I genuinely don't think I would be doing what I am doing today, and so for that I am incredibly grateful for the Evolutions program. I urge parents and students, if you think you're even the slightest bit interested for yourself or your child, that you should talk to anyone involved in the program. Current students, past students, parents, teachers, they're all willing to share more information about the program and answer any questions.
Evolutions definitely impacted my life very much so as both a learner and a person. It gave me skills that regular school doesn't teach, and I definitely value a lot and think school should teach, like working with others and how to properly manage what you're doing and learning how to learn not just to memorize but to actually enjoy what you're learning and how to find joy and actually retain that information. And then as a person, it has taught me a lot about seeing from other perspectives and understanding how important it is to get to know the people around you. I personally thought that the transition was going to be more difficult than it actually was. I was expecting not to know how to take tests and not really to know how to write essays anymore. But I realized with the skills that I learned in evolutions, it wasn't an issue because I had learned ways to really stay active in class and participate in class and, again, enjoy what I was learning. And through that, it made, honestly, my essays and testing and all that, it made it a lot easier for me. I was doing, honestly, better on tests and essays because I was enjoying what I was learning and because I knew how to enjoy what I was learning. For me, I thought I was very worried about how colleges would take me trying to explain the evolutions process to them. I wasn't sure how they would feel about the whole non-traditional school, and I know so many people were telling me colleges love it, but I really was worried that without the traditional education, colleges would not like it. And I realized that I was very wrong from the very first school that I visited, where in our meeting in the beginning before we tour the schools, they talk about what they're looking for in a student, and they use so many words that you'll read in the evolutions overview about community-based learning and project-based learning and collaboration and working in the community, and I was these are all things that I did, and I can actually write about this, and I can relate, and it gave me so much material to write about for my essays. And then obviously I was still worried I don't know if this is what they're looking for in a student, and I got into all the schools I honestly really wanted to go to. I really wanted to get into Fordham, and I got in there, and then even my Reach school, which I was there's no way I'm getting in. I applied to NYU, and I got in there, and I don't think I would have been able to without evolutions.